right, we're all live everywhere. So we are live in Facebook in the Creativity Found group and on YouTube at the Creativity Found podcast channel. Just before I get started with Kelly, I just wanted to explain that what I'm going to be doing over the next few weeks with these lives. So I'm going to be going live on Facebook and YouTube every week with one of the Creativity Found Collective members. So you can find out what they do, how they can help you. Either they might be able to help you find a creative outlet, or they can help you to sustain and grow your own small business. So let me explain. The Creativity Found Collective is a promotional and a networking membership for artists and crafters who share their skills through their workshops or online courses or kits, all for adults, so adults can have a play at getting creative. It's also a membership for business support enterprises, so those people who can use their expertise to help those artists and crafters to grow their businesses, so that they can do a bit more of the crafting and the arting and a bit less of the businessy and the marketing or anything that they don't find as easy to do. So as part of the membership, we promote everybody's offerings on the website. We connect with a network of like-minded business owners on online calls, and some of us have met in real life, and we do other things as well, don't we, Kelly? So if you think you'd like to join us, have a look at creativityfound.co.uk/join us. So Kelly Drewett was the first business support member to join when I opened this membership option up last year. So as I said, I wanted our creative activity businesses, and others of course, to be able to find reliable and affordable people to outsource work to and free them up to do more of the stuff they're good at, or maybe more of the stuff that they want to be doing, and that's why they set up their small business in the first place. So Kelly, start by telling me how you can help creative and other small business owners to thrive and grow. What is it that you do?
Cool. Yeah, I think just to comment on what you just said there as well, like we open our own businesses up because we're so passionate about something, and then we end up just stuck in this admin marketing nightmare, don't we? So yeah, it is a problem for many small businesses. So I originally was a freelancer in website design and have been doing that for 26 years. Sounds quite scary now. And for the last 6 years or so, I've been more of a business and agency, that kind of thing. So during that time, not only have I got a lot of experience in website design itself, I've also got lots of experience in search engine optimization, which is SEO. So I know why some websites will fail online, and why some businesses will thrive through their website. And I learned it's got a lot to do with the content that's within a website, but it's also got a lot to do, I think, with the business owner being empathetic. So for a strong website, yeah, it's the business owner needs to look after the website user. That's like the visitor, the person coming along onto the website. So it's things like, does the page download quickly? Is the text legible? Can they see where they're going, where to go quickly? Is the content really explanatory? And is it kind of easy to connect with? So these are things that would help your website. So I'm quite passionate about that. Easy to use websites, basically, making sure that they rank highly, and they will rank better when they're easy to use and speedy and all of that stuff. So that's where I think we can bring creativity into websites, instead of just, kind of like throwing one up online and not doing anything with them. So I think that the creativity within all of us, and especially the Creativity Found group, that creativity can bring out that uniqueness which Google looks for in a website. So supporting each other. So that's my kind of like take on this whole creative side of websites.
So it's not just a matter of putting in these words that you think people are going to be looking for? We used to hear about keywords and that was what it needed, but you're saying it's a more holistic, it's a whole site and a personal thing.
It's a site-wide thing, definitely. We still need these keywords. They're more like key phrases these days, so they're longer, actual sort of sentences. Some of them don't make sense, but that's what we're targeting. But not only that, in our content, also making the site easy to use and visually, not so much visually pleasing as in kind of, oh, that's pretty, but I can read the text easily. The contrast of the colours, like the text is easy to read on the background that it's on. You see a lot these days where people put text over the top of a picture and you can't actually see what it says. And search engines recognize that. It's not like, I know search engines don't have eyes, but they can understand the programming in the background of a website. So they figure out whether or not a person that is visually impaired, for example, can actually read that text. And they reward websites that will be much more helpful and usable, basically. So
Yeah, that's really interesting.
yeah, it's a side of SEO I love because it's actually like it's inclusive. So love that.
Yeah. So so as a person, logistically, actually doing a job, if somebody wants you to do what you do, what will you actually do?
SEO is quite, yeah, so SEO is complicated as in it could be, and we're going to talk about this actually from what us kind of technical and designy type people do. But from where would I start? So I can design the website as well, but if you've got a website designed already, I would look at that website and on the SEO perspective, I would look to see, do the images download quickly? Have they got the right text on the file name and on the alt tag, which we talk about a lot in SEO? Are those key phrases actually targeted to the things people will actually search for online? What else would I look at? I would look at the fonts. Is it easy to read? The colours. Are they bright enough? Are they contrasting enough? I would look at the blog posts. Are they targeted to search terms? I would make that content much more interesting and unique and powerful. And yeah, things like that. So there's so much to SEO, and it is a kind of it's a bit of a long road. It's not something that can be done so quickly. So yeah.
I get it. I saw you recently posting actually about the file names, the picture file names. I was like, oh wow. So I have consciously renamed my picture files. I haven't done it in the background for the old ones. I might do one day. But yeah, started actually naming my files so they say what they are. They say the name of the person or whatever it is that somebody might be looking for,
Brilliant.
printmaking or whatever it might
I'm
be.
so glad that's helped. That's on my Instagram, isn't it? So
Yeah,
I did a reel about it. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
really glad. I'm going rolling out more tips like that for you. So, and actually, you're the perfect person for me to think of that I would like to help because I know you fiddle around with your website a lot, and so actually, the things that you need. Let me know if you have any more questions on stuff
Yeah,
like that.
it's that because that, like you say, I do my own website. I have to update it a lot based on our members and stuff, but then you can start bringing in those little things. And I think and this comes with outsourcing, I think, as well. People kind of go, oh my God, this is such a big job. It's A, it's going to cost the earth, or B, I don't even know where to start. But when you're given those little things that you can start to implement yourself little
Yeah,
by
you feel
little,
like you're improving something, don't you?
definitely
Yeah.
feel like you're actually improving, you're making a bit of a difference. So let's go on to what we talked about. So before Christmas, I was speaking to Kelly and it became clear that I didn't know what I was talking about. No surprise there. No, but I think everybody has the same kind of maybe a bit of a block about this. So there are different roles within website design, within keeping a website up to date, with regards to making updates. So if a person is looking to do a particular job on their website, whatever that may be, maybe build it from scratch, do some updates, whatever, you can explain that. What person are they looking for? What is the role they would be searching for to find someone who can do that for them or help them do that.
Okay, so I wrote down, or I've been thinking about these different roles, and there is kind of this umbrella term that is website designer, and I even think that's a really bad name for a website designer because a lot of the time a designer doesn't actually design, they will be the technical person that's actually building a website. So it gets very confusing. So here are all the kind of, designer, technical people that might be involved in your like website journey, I guess. And I've written down, we're going sort of, I guess, from the least technical to maybe the most technical, just in this little list here. And one might be an illustrator that can draw something for you and actually put a drawing into a digital um, image for your website. That's they might draw it by hand and then digitalize it. A graphic designer is someone that would do a logo and they do shapes and patterns and stuff like that. So they could do graphics for your website. So that would be a graphic designer. Now, don't get me wrong, some website designers also do graphics and vice versa. So this is where it crosses over and it gets really confusing. You've also got photo editors, and some people specialize in photos, um, but they could also build a website. And we've got videographers, which are people that edit videos. Then we've got going up into sort of website designers, website builders, and a person that is sort of you can lean on the more technical side of a website design, and you would be less designy. So you would be more sort of about usability, I guess, and user experience. So you could have that kind of website designer, or you could have a sort of more graphic design website designer. And then you get website developers, and a website developer could be a person, you could ask them for a system that did, I don't know, anything from booking out, chalet, I say chalet because I'm here, but yeah, like chalet rooms or something like that, and they would build the whole system for you. So that's a web developer. So you've got all these different sort of stages of website designers, and then you've got an SEO like me, for example, who can also build websites. And then we've also got in that realm kind of content writers and marketers and things like that. So we've got so many sort of areas of website design. I don't know if that's very helpful because there's so many of
Yeah,
us.
I think if you like you're talking about booking chalets, if you've got a bigger, if your website needs to work harder,
And
then
bespokely, yeah,
yes, yeah, you're going to be looking for someone who has that
that's a web
experience.
developer, and that's what we call a coder. They can literally code anything that you
Mm.
have in your mind. Which my husband does that actually. It's incredible what they do. You can just say, "Oh, I want it to work this way," and then a couple of hours later,
Mm.
it's done.
So if someone isn't sure of what they need, would you mind if they dropped you an email and said,
No.
"This is what I'm looking for, Kelly. Is it you?"
I've got a pool of like website designers and their strengths, and then some people will be sort of website updaters because they're more like VAs or something like that, and they've got really good experience in websites, but they don't actually build a website. So I've got people like that on my list, and I have, drop me an email
Mm.
or a
Yeah.
direct message. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really helpful. There is a link in the description to Kelly's page at Creativity Found. I'll talk about that at the end. There's some other links there too. From your point of view, I think oftentimes this is why I opened the business support side of Creativity Found Collective, because speaking with people on the podcast, there was a lot of talk about like people felt that they had to do everything. They started their own business, they have to do everything. Why do you think that necessarily shouldn't be the case? And is it affordable for small businesses to be outsourcing some of these jobs? And how should someone decide what they might outsource? Why do you think it's important that they don't necessarily do everything themselves?
What I would say is it does depend on if you want to grow your business or not really, or if you want to take a back step, or if you, for example, want to maybe do your potting instead of all your admin, stuff like that. But I would say, in my experience, after 20 years of being a business owner, I wish I had outsourced more earlier. I really do. Um, so for me, I if you think about how long you would take to do your own website, like changes or maybe even a website build, if that's what you want to put your mind to, a professional will actually do it in probably half the time, if not even faster than you would. And remember, they bring all that experience with them as well. So it's not only speed that you're getting, that you're paying for, it's all that experience. So say if there's a problem when I build a website and I've got something to do with Elementor and it's very it's picky. Elementor is this is a website page builder, and because of my experience really really quickly, whereas someone else would spend what 3 hours trying to figure it out. So there's things like that, and I just feel like a freelancer or an agency, graphic designer, website builder would um, they just bring this knowledge to your business, which you can't necessarily do. We were actually talking, weren't we, in Create Connect the other day about someone who had gone off to Fiverr or something,
Mm,
got a logo done, and then they took their lovely shiny new logo off into an event, and they turned up at this event and someone else had the same logo.
that's right. Yeah.
Just different colours. And that's
Mm,
not a personal logo. It's much more of a, it's a generic logo that they've picked off. I can't remember where it was from, Canva maybe or something like that.
mm,
And I've written down a single conversation with a wise person is worth 10 years of study, which I really liked as I was
mm. Yeah.
thinking about this today. Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking about Create Connect, and you can, and we're also going to talk about the Creativity Found Collective. Why do you think it's important? Tell me about Create Connect as part of this answer, but also why do you think it's important to have these kind of communities within growing your own small business?
Thank you for letting me mention Create Connect because that is my sort of networking group where Claire comes along and we do our creative project, but whilst we're networking and whilst we're chatting to each other. Um, but yeah, I mean, Creativity Found has been such a good community for me, and there's three things that I find so important about any kind of community like this. And the business connections is one of the first ones. So I believe it's a little bit like our relationship where it's not just business anymore. You start moving into this support, and it is personal support because we have such a hard time running businesses. It's tough, and it's really nice to know that we've got that business support between us. I think talking to friends that are not in business, it's not the same because they don't know the challenges that we go through day to day. So I think that is a huge one for members of something like Creativity Found. And that like their network connections, I don't believe you can build a business very as easily without putting yourself out there and building connections like we do in something like Creativity Found. Um, and then the second one was confidence. So with my creativity, I refound my creativity just before I met you, Claire. So it must have been 2 years or something like that. And I think just knowing that there's other people in the world that are just a little bit underconfident about their art or their projects or whatever. And then talking to the other members in our group, it's just amazing to be able to compare notes and share books and knowledge and stuff like that we can, just get that kind of confidence. And with Creativity Found, because you can go around looking for the kind of things that interest you, you can go and see, what other mediums there are out there and maybe try this or try that.
Mm.
And we went to, so this was the live that you were talking about earlier. We went to see Debbie Page, didn't we, at
Yeah.
the Yellow Shed Pottery, and it was just so much fun because I had no knowledge about pottery at all before. And then we went off and just spent a couple of hours with her. And it was really cool to see her studio, and I wouldn't have done that without Creativity Found. So
Yeah. Yeah, it was lovely, wasn't it? We had a good, and you and Carola made, or Carola, I think is his name, made some lovely things. We were just like chatting and playing with the clay, and actually some things came
yeah,
out of it. It was
yeah,
super.
creativity came out of it. It was
It
brilliant.
did. And
And then
I
the
think
last one I
you've,
wanted to mention
mm,
about how Creativity Found helps me is mental health, because it just seems to be, it's something that's worrying me quite a lot at the moment. We see so many people like taking their own lives, and just something that really worries me. And I wanted to just mention to anyone out there that art can help, and it's definitely helped me get out of a hole that I've been in. I think instead of thinking about your problems all of the time, you can start to think about your creative projects and your art, and start sort of immersing yourself in that and the sort of smaller things in life, because you're perhaps painting a flower or a leaf or something like that, and it just brings all of those horrible thoughts, those negative thoughts, back into something that's so positive. And even music can help you in that way, or acting or something like that. And it doesn't have to be expensive. And I think Creativity Found can help you in that way as well, where you can just discover some more positive ways to spend your time, instead of, sitting in front of Netflix or scrolling on that phone, which I just believe it just doesn't help us at all. So I wanted to add that because I want to, yeah,
oh,
help people if they're not feeling right at the moment. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you for that. I mean, it is where it all came from for me as well, because I started the drama and singing classes for that exact reason. I was really, really anxious, and I was looking for a focus that made you not think about anything else and just have that bit of escapism. And it was through Open Stage Arts that I was able to do that, and have the most lovely time birking around with drama games and singing and stuff. And then it was when that stopped that I started Creativity Found, which is, so it's all come from that weirdly
Yeah.
and developed into so many other things. And it's great on the podcast to be able to chat with people who have had those experiences as well, and how their creativity, what how they use their creativity now is benefiting them in very many holistic ways. So thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that. It's really, really important. What's coming
Yeah.
up for you and your business?
Oh, it's so exciting. I've got the most amazing employee called Debs, and she is helping me all the time with what's coming up in my business. So, uh, continuing on with the Create Connect sessions, they're on Tuesdays. Tuesdays? Every second Tuesday of the month. We're not doing every week anymore, we're doing every month. So that's 4 p.m. UK time, and come along for £5, and that £5 will go to charity. Still haven't chosen my charity because I'm finding it really difficult, but it will be something to do with poverty and creativity. So finding one. And then in the second part of the year, I'm opening up some sort of cohorts to help people with their SEO website engineering, I'm calling it, because it's not about designing websites. It is about teaching people how to sort of tinker around with their websites, make them stronger, get these people a little bit more passionate and creative and unique in their websites. So there'll be accountability sessions. There will be sharing of tips and, things like plugins and themes, and yeah. And of course, I will be continuing my creativity, and uh, very badly playing the piano probably this year too. So yeah,
Brilliant. That sounds like a really, really good idea,
the
Kelly. I love
cohort.
it. I love
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
I've
Really
I
good.
felt like you would be just the perfect candidate, because you're the kind of person that wants to learn,
Mm.
because it is horrible when you're sort of giving that whole baby away. Your website is your baby, and
Mm.
you're giving it away to someone else to do the updates, but actually you want to understand it yourself
Yeah.
and you want to help it yourself. So quite nice to be able to learn together. So yeah,
Yeah,
let's.
exactly. And I think that learning, like you say, rather than handing it over, and it empowers you,
Yeah.
but that learning so that you can do it yourself. And again, like you say, it does empower you and it gives you confidence. I've learned such a lot doing the podcast alone with the technology of it and the trends going forward. You came to the podcasting 2.0
Yeah.
meeting, like learning about what's happening, what's changing, and it doesn't have to be too scary. So I think that's a really, really good idea.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Kelly. And I will be putting about that cohort when you're ready to go. That can go on your page at Creativity Found.
brilliant. Thank
So
you.
the links are all in the descriptions, but you can go to creativityfound.co.uk. Oh, I've forgotten whether I did it as Kaydee Web or Kelly Drewett, and it's not written down here. That's not a very good advert, is it?
Which did you need? Did you want the YouTube channel or the
No, no,
website
no.
link?
Your page at Creativity Found. It's okay.
Ah,
I can find it.
yeah.
But I have put the correct links in the description, and
That's
let's have a
cool.
quick look. And there's details there about Create Connect as well as your services. I did Kelly Drewett, creativityfound.co.uk/Kelly Drewett. And that
Brilliant.
links to all of Kelly's socials, to her website, so you can contact her directly. Before we go, this live stream was brought to you using Riverside, talking about technical. It's the first time doing a live stream. It seems to have gone pretty well.
It's really
Riverside is
cool.
it's good. Riverside is also the platform I use to record all of the podcast episodes. You can find links to Riverside and also Buzzsprout, which is my hosting company for the podcast. If you're interested in podcasting, ask me anything. Have a look at those links. Yes, if you actually do use those links and you purchase a paid subscription, some pennies will go back to Creativity Found, which will go towards putting the podcast on. Yeah, and the link to Kelly's page. And that was all I wanted to say. Thank you very much,
Lovely.
Kelly. That was really
Thank
lovely.
you. Thanks, Claire. Great
See
to
you
speak to you.
soon.
Bye.
Bye. Need to find my mouse now. Where's my mouse? There it is.